guys, welcome back to the channel. Everyone's having a great day today. So, as you can see, we're not in the truck right now, and there's nothing wrong with the truck. Pretty much, I'm so like strapped for cash. It's the end of the pay period that I have been trying to get a hold of the Chevy to drive this week because I've had to go pick up my siblings. I drive the truck to school and stuff this week, but since it's right before the pay period, and plus usually when I do go pick them up, my mom usually offers the Equinox up anyway when my mom's home. That's why I'm in here. Besides the fact that I'm a little bit, like, you know, it's the end of the pay period, so everyone's kind of strapped for cash at this point, unless you're just really rich. So we're headed to take this car to go get my brother and sister from school. You're probably wondering, thought your brother had a car. Yeah, it kind of broke, and it might be catastrophic. So for those who've watched the channel for a long time know my little brother's car, his 2005 Kia Spectre 5, which was originally my dad's car. Out of all the cars in the house right now, it's been around the longest. It sat for a couple years after I got my truck, because originally it was saved for me. A lot of you guys know about my ASD and my motor skills and all that jazz. I've talked about it in length before. So my skills at driving manual weren't really there when I first started driving at around 15, 16 years old. So my parents were just like, you know what, we're just going to get an automatic. We're going to save some money up and help you do that. And that's where the truck came from. So the Spectre sat for quite a while. And so my brother got a hold of it. And when my brother got a hold of it, he didn't really do too much with it. He did a couple little things, such as like a cover for the parking brake handle, as well as the steering wheel, because the leather was going bad on both of those. It's had, you know, a couple things replaced. It really hasn't been the most reliable since it came back out of hibernation, I guess you could say. It really shows that letting a car sit like that just kills it. I mean, a lot of people say letting a car sit is good for it because it keeps the miles off of it. You do more damage than you do help when you do that to a car. So, in my opinion, always put miles on your car. Cars are meant to be driven. Don't garage them up. This bike is loud. I've heard some loud Harleys in my day, but that is noisy. Alright, but yeah, the Kia hasn't really been the most reliable car since it came back, which is unfortunate because I do like that car a lot. But what's going on? I haven't even talked about what's going on yet. Look at me go, just stalling out. Hey, a stinger. But anyway, the Kia right now is having some sort of issue with its clutch. I believe it's a slave cylinder issue. My dad jumped straight to the worst case scenario, that the whole clutch is going bad. I'm not sure how the Spectre is, if it uses a hydraulic throwout bearing or if it uses a different style, because I know apparently, I guess there's multiple types of throwout bearings. But the car is having issues. You put the clutch in and it just sticks to the floor. Another thing is the parking brake light flashes a lot while he's driving, which usually indicates low brake fluid. My truck did it for a while and it was very low in brake fluid, so I'm glad we caught it, or else I could have been dead. So that's my fear that's going on with the Spectre right now, is that it just needs some fluid, or maybe there's a leak somewhere. But they haven't checked for that yet. My dad just wanted to see, you know, worst case scenario, it is the clutch going out again, which wouldn't make sense because the clutch was just replaced right about 190,000 miles. The car's got almost 206,000. Yeah, it sat for quite a while. I mean, 3 years out of commission almost. And we had to very slowly ease it back in. But I honestly think it's just a leak, and it would make sense with the parking brake light flashing, because obviously that means that either the slave cylinder is going bad and it's leaking, or something along those lines, a line is leaking somewhere. Because I'm willing to bet like a lot of money that Kia did not put stainless lines in those cars from the factory. So the car's out of commission right now until we can figure it out. We're going to take a look at it this weekend. I don't think I'm going to video it because we really haven't done videos of that car, and that's kind of been why. We haven't really done any extensive modifications to it or anything. But this video is meant to be a kind of celebration. And a lot of you guys who've been paying attention may notice that the channel hit 800 subscribers the other day, which is just awesome. So I can't thank you guys enough for the support. You know, I say it all the time how much I'm so thankful for you guys and supporting the channel and all that. But I haven't really done a special in a while because I've been trying to, you know, make something work with how, you know, I guess you could say my moral code works. That's why I don't do racing on this channel. That's why I don't do like tons of like hoonigan kind of stuff out. Like, you know, doing burnouts and, you know, just acting a fool of myself. I have, you know, such a tight moral code. That's why I drive kind of like a grandma for a car guy. Most car guys, you know, are stereotyped as being pedal to the metal at all times. Kind of like this Beetle behind me that's getting rather close. And just driving like an idiot. I, on the other hand, I'm very tame. I guess it's a level of maturity, I guess you could say, because I just know the time and place. And that's kind of how I drive. Like when I'm not doing anything with car friends, or I'm not with my dad, for example. For whatever reason, I was talking about my mom yesterday. I go in a show-off mode, and my dad's in the car with me. I drive kind of slow, kind of like right at the speed limit, if not 5 over, and that's really about it. I'm not beating it up. I'm not, running the revs out or anything on my car. So I get that's part of why, as I just don't do it very often, and I'm afraid the one time I would do it, I'd get in trouble. And I mean, you guys, I've complained enough about not being able to mod this thing. You guys think I can pay a speeding ticket or impound fees or anything like that? But there's a lot of road work going on here too, which is kind of annoying, really, because I hate road work because it just jams everything up. But I guess it's just, infrastructure needs to be updated, and it just has to happen. But yes, that's why I haven't done like any sort of like crazy Hoonigan specials or anything, with like burnouts and drifting out of places and stuff like that. I just don't do it. But anyway, I haven't really decided if we're going to do anything to celebrate 800, if we're going to wait for 1,000 to actually do something crazy. My goal last year was if I hit 1,000, by the time I hit 1,000, I'd have enough to buy a second project. But due to insurance costs, and that's literally the only thing that stopped me, because the car I wanted was under $1,000, was manual. It was front wheel drive 4-cylinder, but it was going to be a blast. I was looking at getting a EG or EK Civic hatch last year. A lot of you guys know that. And literally the only reason I did was insurance. And being a college student, I don't get the chance to go. That was a dog. Oh, that hurts. That made me want to cry a little bit. Anyway, that's just depressing. I'm kind of sad now. But anyway, pretty much, I got stopped by insurance costs, and my goal was to, by the time I hit 1,000 subscribers, that I was able to actually buy the car and have it here for you guys, so like we could do videos with it and stuff like that. But that didn't wind up working out. I wound up not being able to get it due to insurance costs, and like I said, being a broke college student, it just didn't work out. I just don't have the money to support that. I don't have the time to invest in a full-time job in order to be able to afford having 2 cars. So I kind of just, was like, all right, maybe in a few years we'll be fine. So that's kind of the plan now. It's going to be a couple years until another project shows up, unless something happens to the truck. So knock on dashboard, nothing happens, or knock on door card in this case. Hopefully nothing happens to the truck, but we can make a move towards getting a new car in the future. But it won't be anytime soon, I can tell you that much. But anyway, like I was saying, thank you guys again for 800. You guys have just been the best, because hate comments have been hate comments are such a rarity now, and it used to be such a huge problem when I first got started, allowing comments when I first hit 100 subscribers. It was such a problem, actually, that I debated turning them back off. But it's such a rare kind of situation now, and it makes me happy. I don't feel like I'm forcing a YouTube channel now. Years ago, when I hit 100 and hate comments were everywhere, 100, 200, 300, 400 even subscribers, I felt like I was having to force the channel. I just didn't really have a lot of drive. But now, thanks to all of the cool guys out here, a lot of you guys that talk to me all the time, and like in Instagram messaging and stuff like that, it means a lot to me. It really does. I like having the interaction with you guys. So if you guys have my Instagram and have questions or just want to chat, as long as you don't try to go overboard and try to distract me when I'm trying to do stuff, I'll gladly talk. I don't mind chatting with you guys. It's awesome. That's one advantage of being at a low subscriber count like this, is I'm able to have interactions like that. So yeah, it's just awesome. So if you guys have my Instagram and you guys want to talk, I put it at the beginning of most of my videos now, and it's in my description. So and in my outro. So if you don't have it, I'd be kind of surprised. But anyway, guys, I'm just pulling up to the school to go pick up my brother and sister, and I'll catch up to you guys when I get home, and we can talk more about what's coming soon in the future for the channel. Alright guys, I'm going to close this video out here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I know it wasn't long and it wasn't action-packed. I've said that a lot lately about how the videos haven't been action-packed or anything. But like I said, I just want to thank you guys for 800 subscribers. You guys are the best. I'm really excited to see where the channel goes from here. The road to 900 to 1,000 starts now, which is just crazy to me. I've been at this for 5 years now, and I didn't really think that I would get to even this point. With how slow the channel's been compared to, big names like that. And I feel like it's not even as much the subscriber side. I don't feel like it's a subscriber issue. I feel like it's a me issue. That's why the channel hasn't, blown up yet. But they always say the first 1,000 always the hardest to get, which I think is very true. Which is why I'm working very hard right now to get the channel back up. Like I said earlier, I'd lost a lot of drive, a couple years ago to do this, and I'm back. I feel like I'm better than ever now in terms of the channel, which is just amazing. So I can't thank you guys enough for it. It just means the world to me that you guys are still supporting the channel after all these years and just being, the great subscribers you guys are. And like I said, we're going to try to do something crazy for 1,000, I feel like. We're going to try to do something that just blows everything that I've ever done out of the water. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that, because I don't want to do specials for every 100 subscribers anymore. I want to make it big milestones, something like 1,000, 2,000, and so on and so forth. But that's what I feel like is kind of crazy, is just how the channel's growing now. And it's grown. It's funny, with each new 100 subscribers, the next 100 comes up faster. Like, it's interesting to me how like, the algorithm with YouTube works and how YouTube just works as a whole. It's insane to me. But I just want to thank you guys for all the support you guys have given me in the channel recently. I know that videos haven't been great in the last, say 10 months or so. A lot of people like to say I have a lot of filler content. Because I'm just trying to do the best I can with my situation. When the truck gets done, when the engine build is finished, and I can take care of every other thing that I want to do with it, it's going to be insane. And eventually I'm going to do a video talking about what all is going into this project. I've said before already, we're in the planning stages right now. We're pretty much budgeting and getting prices and stuff like that. So it's pretty much happening, which is just insane. I've been wanting to do this engine project for 3 years. Maybe even longer than that. I planned on doing this when I first started at Georgia Highlands back in 2017. I'd been thinking about it before that. I was trying to really work towards getting a new engine in this truck years ago. But it just didn't work out. And it seems like finally my aspirations and dreams with this stuff are finally coming true, which it just means everything to me. And so unless something happens and I have a change of heart, we're pretty much going to have probably one of the very first Gen 1 V6 trucks to be capable of 400 horsepower, which is just gonna be insane. I know that I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for it not going V8, because a lot of people want to see a 302 swap on YouTube. There's not really a lot of 5.0 Sport Track content on YouTube. The majority of trucks you'll find are overland trucks, trucks that are like really cool overland builds, like say Monday 86's truck, for example, which is very nice. And I don't know for sure how he sits on power mods. I haven't gotten to speak to him, minus like a couple exchanges and comments. But it means a lot. It's awesome to have this space, and I feel like the 4.0 community is kind of big. I mean, the Gen 1 is a very high profile truck, and I feel like it's just awesome that the community is so big. And I feel like that's part of why I'm sticking 4.0 minus the financial side, is because I want this to be a build that you guys can kind of relate to. If I did a 302 swap or an LS swap, it'd be kind of cool, but it would mean that not a lot of you guys can easily replicate it. And that's kind of what I want. I want it to be where my truck's improving. You can be one of the fastest sport tracks in the country, but can also be relatable to you guys. So you guys who have a Gen 1 4.0 and are like, well, I want to have fun with this, but I don't want to spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. You guys can do that. And that's kind of the goal of the channel really right now, is to just make the truck fast, fun, and mostly reliable. It's never going to be perfect, because it's just an early 2000s Ford. Just by nature, they're not necessarily the most reliable vehicles in the world. They're not Hondas. But I want to make it better than average. I want this truck to be above average, but not overkill. I've had lots of people ask me why I'm not going V8 if I'm wanting to make horsepower, and it's just relatability. I want you guys to be able to relate to the truck. As well as, I don't want to spend the money to swap a V8 into it and have 5 more horsepower, and so I can spend double that to actually make some horsepower. So that's part of why I've been so against V8 swaps. It's just financial. Sure, the V8s sound better, and in the end, they are going to have the much better building potential that these trucks have with the V6, but that's not the point. A lot of people tend to think that I'm trying to build a 9-second truck, and that is far from what I want to do. The truck, in my opinion, is going to be, at best, a 13-second car, and that is perfectly fine with me. Mainly because that's 3 seconds faster than the world record right now, the quarter-mile world record, which is a 16:1 at 83.
So I don't think that I think that it'll be kind of fun to have that record. And no one's even set an 8th mile record yet, which is kind of interesting. And my state's full of it, so I mean, I could run it right now and set that record. But records aren't necessarily my biggest ambition with this truck. It is does kind of play a part in a little bit, which is why I was originally just like I'll be fine with whatever I get supercharged. And why I'm like, no, I want 400. I want 400, and that's the goal. And eventually I'm going to talk about it and how we plan on doing this, because my friend Josh, Online Parts Pro, is going to help me a lot with this. We've been talking for years now on supercharging my truck. Our dream was to have both of our trucks supercharged, sitting side by side at Cafe and Octane. And of course, unfortunately, his truck met a blazing end, much like Hayden's Genesis did, which really was ironic because it was a couple months after the Genesis did. But Josh has been a huge help with the build, as well as my other friends like Hayden and Michael. Both have been huge into this build as well, and it just means a lot having that support system as well. But this is just the beginning for the truck. I've said that many years now, and this year is going to be the year where things actually go crazy. The goal this year is to have the engine built, possibly supercharged, because of how much money I'm going to have very soon. I plan on saving the other half of it because it's going to cost about $2,000 to $3,000 to get this engine done. I'm pretty much dead set on replacing at this point instead of rebuilding, because I feel like the engine is probably just going to be too marred up and too unhealthy to rebuild. And just buying everything fresh will be better and will be more cost effective and be less labor cost as well. Because labor costs, it'll be, I'll have to pay for storage because the truck will be there for a while. If it's being rebuilt, it probably wouldn't take but a few days to do a complete replacement. So it's just a lot going on, but the goal for this year is to have that engine done, possibly supercharged, and running on the drag strip by the end of this year. My goal is to run a streetcar this year. I want to run a streetcar this year. I know I'll be one of the slowest cars there, but it'll be so worth it to go out there on the big stage and possibly set the new quarter-mile record. So that's kind of where the goal is the record. While it's not really, the biggest deal, I do want to have it. It is something I aspire for, and I don't really plan on pushing more than 400. I just feel like it would be dumb to overkill my daily driver, which is exactly why I'm not trying to push 600 horsepower. But anyway, that wraps this video. So like I said, thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. You guys are the greatest. I just love the support you guys have. And like I said, if you guys ever need someone to chat with, it's just an advantage of having this low subscriber count right now. I say low like it's like 200 subscribers, but having less than like a 10,000, 100,000 subscribers, that makes it very easy for me to converse with you guys. So that's kind of that. I'm always open to answering questions and stuff on Instagram. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys on Friday. Hope you guys have a good one.